The following segment is sponsored by Creative Society.
A lot of us are getting back out and picking those vacation plans back up, whether it's a quick road trip or a week-long vacation. You've got to think about your home when you're gone and the air inside specifically. Sean McGraw joins us from American Veteran Air Conditioning in Inman. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Margaret. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, a lot of people ask you if they should turn off their AC when they leave for vacation. Is that ever a good idea?
No.
Why not? Same and over. Why not?
The purpose of that AC unit isn't just to keep your house cool. The other purpose of it, the main function of it, is also to dehumidify your house. So if you turn that sucker off, you're going to come back to 80% humidity in your house. And yeah, that's not going to be fun for anyone. And it's going to take probably a week for it to get all that humidity back out of your house.
Makes sense. So we don't want to turn off the AC, but when people, they could adjust their settings when they're going to be gone. What do you recommend there?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to leave for an extended stint, more than a couple days or something like that, then it could be a little bit energy-wise on you. Just go ahead and bump that thermostat up maybe 10 degrees or so, and just let it run at a higher temperature where you're not putting any of your appliances or anything like that at risk in your home, but you're still saving energy.
About 85 degrees maybe to set that?
Yeah, I mean, if you keep it at 73, turn it up to 83, 85, that sounds about right.
Okay, so just keep it running warmer. There are some steps that you should take to save energy. Let's go through those steps, starting with cleaning the air filters.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things you actually do want to check before you leave a house, is making sure that air filter is clean. That's one of the most, we call them nuisance calls, but it's not a nuisance. It's really a nuisance to you. I just paid for a service call because I got a dirty filter. And so changing the filters out on there, making sure that that unit's still dripping water. That's one of the things that I always worry about when I leave my house or anything like that, is making sure that that system's not going to continually run and the condensation flow over into my ceiling, and I'm going to come back to my sheetrock down on my daughter's bed.
Yeah, not what we want. Also, another tip, you want to make sure that you have properly and securely closed the windows, blinds, and shutters. Talk to us about the energy saving that can happen there.
Yeah, well, I mean, trying to keep, obviously, the sun out of your house as much as possible. So some simple common sense stuff like that, keeping the shade shut, or some heavy curtains, keeping the sun out as much as possible. And it really just, the recommendations can vary from house to house, because new construction, depending on when it was built and everything else, could be a lot tighter than a 1960 mill house. So it just depends on where you live and what you know about your house. And generally, with my experience, people tend to know their house pretty well, except for when they first move in. But they'll quickly learn the ins and outs and quirks of what's going on and what they need to do.
Absolutely. And you can give them some tips along the way if they want specifics. Should we be unplugging the electronics and the appliances when we're away? And what factors do you consider there?
I mean, obviously you don't want to turn your refrigerator off when you leave, but some different things like that, maybe your computer server or something like that, or you got something that puts a big heat load in the house and you're going to leave for a week. Yeah, it makes sense to go ahead and turn that off and get rid of that heat load while you're not using it.
Yeah. And finally, nobody wants to come home to a stiflingly hot house. You say that considering a programmable thermostat might be a good idea.
Yeah, and I mean, that's good on all fronts of there as well, is you can keep a monitor on your house while you're gone away. So if something happened and your AC did turn off for whatever reason, and you got pets in the house or something along those lines, then you could call somebody to action on there, whether it be a neighbor or whatever else, but you have remote monitoring capability on your unit. So that's a big plus right there. The other thing is, you're driving back in, I'm 2 hours out, let me go ahead and turn my system back down and be comfortable when I come in my house.
All right, a handy tool, and people can learn a lot more about that and all your other services. You can contact American Veteran at the number on your screen, 435-0822, or visit the website, AmericanVeteranAC.com. Sean, anything else before we let you go today?
Oh, absolutely. So any veterans out there, we still offer, and we will continue offering forever, 10% discount on any services provided there, as well as first responders, so all our EMT and firefighters and stuff like that. We're going to make sure we take care of you as well. And I know there's everybody's important to us. So, I mean, we do want to give a shout out to basically everybody that does make our country work, because everybody works together. And that's one thing I'm really grateful watching happen now, is folks are really seeing how much everybody's part plays into it. So, I mean, whether you're a nurse, you're a teacher, everybody is just running out and really giving 130% on their normal job and realizing, man, we're the ones that make this country run. So, by all means, to everybody, I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day. We'll talk soon.